It's interesting because very few people even really deny
Nobody
what
said
Katt's saying is true.
Yep.
Which is the most bizarre thing about
That's
all
a
of
crazy
it.
thing.
I would have thought some of y'all be like, no, I got receipts. It turns out Katt Williams has decided to bring Kevin Hart's ex-wife on tour with him. I didn't believe it when I saw it. I still... If you aren't aware, Katt Williams and Kevin Hart are beefing. They have been for quite some time. Katt Williams feels like he's an industry plant.
He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Kevin Hart feels like he's a hard worker and that Katt Williams is a bit of a lazy bum who squandered a lot of his opportunity to get forced for a long time. Some people got their kinks. Him taking his ex-wife on tour?
That's wild. That's wild. But it is what it is. What's funny though is that Tory kept Kevin Hart's name. When artists do that, I think it's weird. But whatever, I get it.
You mean after the divorce she didn't go
After
back
the
to
divorce, you don't go back to... It's weird to me.
I'm going to be a Hart until I decide not to be.
It's weird.
He doesn't mind her having it, and her kids want her to keep it too.
And that's fine. I get that. I still think it's weird. And then I'm going to be a Hart. I'm going to be a Hart until I decide not to. So now you're a Hart that goes on tour with Katt. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to be a Hart until you decide not. And now you, as a Hart, you decide to go...
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty confident that when he left her, he cheated on her.
I understand all that. I just is a bit wild. But then again, I'm just saying. Everybody's cool with the name. It's just the name thing, the name keeping thing. Everybody's cool, then I don't have no business not being cool with it. It's none of my business, right? After that, she goes to tour with Katt. She sees an opportunity. She sees it. Katt's being petty. It is going to be what it is going to be.
Yeah, petty. She could be funny, so who knows on that front. But that's wild.
I think it's really just messing up with her. Because when she goes on tour with Katt, and Katt said, I only bring people that are more funnier than me on tour. If you're not funny and she can't, it really can be a demise. If she is funny, then do you, boo-boo,
hold
all
on.
day,
if
every day.
If there's ever an audience that's going to eat up whatever she got to say about her ex-husband, is it not Katt Williams' audience? Just saying. I'm just saying. That's like me bringing on Fresh and Fit's biggest hater on tour with us to open. I'm just saying. So listen, all this talk, I've seen a lot of people respond. I have never seen celebrities respond to a podcast like they have to this one. I'm talking about everyone coming out the woodwork. You got Ludacris rapping.
Yeah.
Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati, and I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a clout chaser, never say shit for likes. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks. Afro with the sideburns, yeah, that's my signature. Addictions on the rise, comedians check your temperature.
I'm like, bruh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Katt Williams said something about you joining the Illuminati, and what do you say Luda had to do?
So there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. So it was both of us, we were equal. One of us had to cut off all their hair and couldn't do the sideburn thing no more with the points. And the next person, they said, was going to get $200 million because they were going to pay him $10 million a movie to do 20 movies. And that's how the conversation happened. One of those persons turned out to be Ludacris, and the other person turned out to be Katt Williams. Now, one person ended up with a light-skinned, ugly-faced wife that's never done it. Remember I told you that if I say that, it applied to 7 people? Yes. It's part of what they give you. Okay, I didn't get it.
It was some sus shit. Something about booty and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay. And Luda came out with a fucking
A rap.
A rap. I was like, what is going on? These people are weird. Then you got Steve Harvey talking about, hey, I ain't got to address my haters. And all these clips are surfacing. But it's interesting because very few people even really deny
Nobody
what
said
Katt's saying is true.
Yep.
Which is the most bizarre thing about all of it.
Crazy thing.
I would have thought some of y'all would be like, no, I got receipts. Nobody.
The only thing that
Even
you guys
the
are
smiley.
denying, the only thing that you guys are denying is he can't run that fast and didn't read that many books. The rest, you're not saying shit. That's weird.
Hey, listen, him not being able to run a 40-yard dash in under 4 seconds or whatever the fuck it
Under
was.
5. And he did.
He's 52, and I think he ran it in like 5 seconds, which is
4:67.
which is still incredibly impressive for his age.
He could have ran it in 6.
People were like, but he lied. See, he didn't run it in the exact. I was like, who cares? That's a 52-year-old man running that fast. Like, I was actually shocked when he ran.
Some of you,
I'm not gonna lie. I
you,
saw him running, and I'm like, damn, crack got a really not saying, but like, it just gave me that vibe of seeing you see old crackheads just moving with purpose. That's what it felt like.
Some of you 26-year-olds can run that fast. Stop.
Facts.
Stop.
Facts. But moving past that,
Stop.
it's just seeing the response to the interview. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I think, in and of itself, it is very singular to me in my mind. And I think it's probably the second most viewed podcast ever.
100%.
Though number one being Joe Rogan's podcast, which I think has 56 during COVID at some point.
In one interview, he was able to skyrocket to that. Like,
say what you want. That man is charismatic. He knows how to tell stories.
I'm sorry.
And he knows how to run interviews. 'Cause I watched that thing from start to finish, and it was amazing.
Everything is... The only thing you try to say against Katt is that he can't read that many books and he don't run that fast. Mm-hmm. That's it?
That's it.
Out of 2 hours and something seconds and something minutes that he said that he was talking, the only two things that you...
So here comes the second part now. What comes after this? Does anything change?
No, nothing changes. It's going to settle down after 2 weeks. Everybody going to look at Steve Harvey, a little bit funny and stuff like that. White people are still going to love him. He's still going to have his shows, everything. Not much is going to change. Although, for Katt, the whole new respect is born. And he's going to be able to tour and do his thing. But for the rest of them that got called out, it's going to be like, man, Cedric is... Go ahead.
I think it did irreparable damage to some of their legacies. Cedric in particular,
Sure.
I think was really hurt by it.
Sure.
I think Steve Harvey much less so because he has a more global audience.
Sure.
I think it skyrocketed Katt into a new level.
Yep.
And I think overall, as far as the Hollywood stuff goes or all this other talk, I don't think it really changed the legacy of most of the people involved in any strong way. I think it's one of those things where people learn more information, they learn about the industry. So maybe for a lot of people who are unaware before, they get more info. But beyond that, I don't think it really changes much. That's my honest assessment.
It hurt Ced and Ricky Smiley the most. The rest,
Yep.
even Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, it's not going to change.
No.
It's not going to. It's going to bug him. It's going to hit him.
Yeah.
But other than that, money-wise or globally, it's not going to change much.
Nope. Ludacris is going to show up in the next Fast and Furious, right? Because he gave up his booty for it. And everybody else going to keep on doing what they do. So that's my honest assessment.